Aloha. Haven't we been taught that pure fantasy is just that? Pure fantasy? In the Matrix, we're not allowed to think that pure fantasy or great imagination and the dreams that come out of that are always for someone else, but never us. Because you're not allowed to believe in fantasy in the sense of what we are co-creating, which is reality. What are we co-creating these realities with? Imagination. And great imagination is going to explore, fantasy, dreaminess. And those are the very things that the Matrix has taught us and conned us into believing that that's not for you, that's fantasy. But wait a minute, it is for me. And yes, it is fantasy, but it's not fantasy as in some impossible thing that could never be true. But yet the only thing stopping it from being true for us is our belief that that barrier is there, that that barrier exists. That we have as co-creators and awakened souls the ability to co-create using all of these source powers. So if we don't overcome that limitation that we're putting on ourselves subconsciously, we're not realizing it, but become aware, realize it, that the limitations you're putting on how far you can take your co-creative abilities into what realms. And I'm saying fantasy is one of the furthest realms that too many people aren't comfortable going there because we've been taught to poo-poo it and say it's, tinfoil and this and that and the other. And so not much ever changes. And the lifetimes just keep going by. The reincarnations just keep happening. It's like the same thing keeps happening. And at what point do we awaken and go, wait a minute, we're the ones that have been given the responsibility, the great honor of being awakened co-creators in this realm and co-creating our realities using our powers without putting limitations on them, because to put limitations on them is to put limitations on God. And nobody awake is trying to limit God. So please invoke your powers, overcome the doubt, release the doubt. You will never go back to that old way of thinking that limits God, that limits you. Because you and He and I are one in this consciousness, in this awareness, in this power, connected, unified, and powerful, if we would but recognize it. And by standing here for long hours looking at these woods and listening to Mother speak, This just dawns on me. That's the truth. That's the truth. It's hard for me to accept that as absolute truth. But I'm accepting it more and more as I stand here looking at these woods and listening to Mother. And I'm seeing it across the board. So I know it's not just happening right here in my backyard. All the magic is not contained just here. It's there with you as well. We have it. Graciously given to us. But we've been slow to use it because of doubt. It's a beautiful, beautiful, simple, wonderful truth. Love, unity, and light. As always, my friends and family. Until next time.